Vulgar Display of Power was the most important record of our career. We had conquered Texas and we were packing out clubs. And then we got our first US tour. All of a sudden, there were several audiences that didn't like us, didn't understand us.
It was at a time when Pantera was so hungry we would do anything to take over the world with our music.
Vince Paul, he was the one who said, I don't give a fuck if it's 2 people or 7 people or 10 people. Our job is to kick their fucking ass every single night, and word will spread.
We had just played 338 days on the Cowboys run and went directly into the studio. I think we might have had 3 weeks off. So we were red freaking hot.
We worked with one of the best record producers I've ever worked with, Terry Date.
They did things on their own terms. They didn't care about what major labels or what other people were telling them to do. They did what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it.
It was a very, very, very focused record.
The work ethic was pretty intense. Our hours were 12, 13, 14, maybe longer. I remember a lot of sunrises on that record.
And this is back when everything was analog, there was no cheating, so it took take after take after take, you know, every chorus.
The band had been touring, we had to go in and write the songs.
We had hit kind of a roadblock in the writing sessions.
You want your voice to do something and you've tried 1,000 times and it's not doing it.
Phil never broke chairs in anger.
Terry told me one time, the only other guy that might have broken as many chairs or stools as me was Chris Cornell.
You know, we had as much fun as we could with it.
And Phil, I think Philip had the riff for a new level, or had an idea and wanted to get it to die, but he had to get on that same wavelength.
He knew what he wanted, and you know, he didn't stop till he got where he wanted to go.
Okay, let's take a break.
And I remember Dom and Phil went outside and smoked a joint.
Phil, remember that pot I said you couldn't smoke earlier until we were done? Take a hit, brother. Take a hit, man. Relax.
And when they came back, they had this thing.
You go out there and you nail it.
That chunk of that groove, I think that set the whole tone for the whole record.
Right towards the end of the record, we were about 2 weeks away from completing it. We got a call from our A&R guy, Mark Ross, and said, hey man, they just had this big coup in Russia, man, and we would love to have you guys come over and play.
We were loathed in Europe.
We hadn't played live because we've been in the studio.
It was a pretty big deal for the band and myself, playing in front of a crowd that was that size.
And we packed up all our gear, we flew to Russia, and we played to 1 million people.
This is called domination!
And Europe saw us at our strongest.
Going from packing out everything in the Arlington region to playing around the world kind of validated what they were doing.
And then we got right back into the studio and finished the record.
I saw them wanting to give their fans a record that reflected what they saw when they were playing it live.
When we listened back to that, we were just a bunch of like little kids, you know, at Christmas time.
To me, that really signified our first true album of what was to come.